Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the World Deconstructed, the show that deconstructs everything. We'll even deconstruct a pig's nose if we have to. Today, we are going to deconstruct Donald Trump. Yes, we'll deconstruct him brick by brick. And later on the show, we have our special guest for this evening, Mr. Shankar Aiyar. But before that, let's welcome our band, the Jazzy Jets. It's been a silly season in America, with Hillary and Donald battling it out, with allegations and counter-allegations flying thick and fast. Yeah, it's almost as if we're watching Pinocchio and his twin sister. But you know what? With all that political talking going around, things can get quite confusing for some, cause them to do stupid things, behave in ways that are not quite normal. Classical symptoms of Hillary-Trump-titis. It makes you push your head into places where your rump has always gone before. A few days ago, it was a special day for Hillary Clinton. No, she didn't have to wear a mask or an oxygen suit or a straitjacket. She celebrated her 68th birthday. Yeah. And that made me think, what would Donald be thinking on such a day? Happy birthday, my dear. It becomes very clear that you ain't gonna be president, and you can kiss my sweet. Happy oblivion to you. May I say that you're due to get your next posting in the Wall Street Zoo. And once you're there, you can write a new mail on a server that'll fail. I could then get the Russians to help you get mail. I think we should stop before Hillary gets all breathless. Come on, there's a new Donald on the block. One that apologizes for the foolish things he might have said, admits that he was wrong. A more truthful Donald, just when we're getting used to the old one. And so Donald has finally decided to come clean, tell the truth, not sweep things under the carpet or under that enormous bundle of hay he calls hair. Yeah. In that spirit, he has decided to release this, a bit reluctantly, I might say. What a relief! Now that Donald has admitted to the fact, I'm sure he feels a little less taxed. But with all the tension of a political campaign, it must have been heartwarming when he saw something drop out of Hillary's pants as she nosedived towards her van. Donald has now conclusive proof that Hillary is an alien. Her actual name is Hilavengus Emailus Cleton. And those are her companions, Billus Randomus, and I forgot the name of the other guy. Time to deconstruct Trump. Mexico, the final frontier. These are the adventures of Donald J. Trump. His 4-year mission to make America great again. His aim to make Black Lives Matter, to find new walls to build and divide, to jail Hillary, and to boldly go where no Mexican has gone before. This brilliant man, also known as the Octopus, depending on whether you were the lucky one to get groped by him or not, is the savior of the alt-right and one of the most intelligent men on earth.
I love the Mexican people.
I think the world knows that by now.
I love the spirit of the Mexican people.
We get it, Donald. You like their tequila too. That will certainly get you the Hispanic vote and help you win the election.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists. And
then, maybe not. When Donald started out, he quickly learned the art of coding. Color coding. And as he is learning to act presidential, he is learning to adapt. Yes, Donald certainly knows the art of making friends and influencing people.
If I ask them, if I need them, most of the people on this stage I've given to, just so you understand. A lot of money.
Not me.
Not me.
Trumponomics. I scratch your piggy bank, you scratch my... whatever. It doesn't matter. Just make sure it's a good scratch. Donald, you're such a generous man. You even love your rivals.
With Hillary Clinton, I said, be at my wedding, and she came to my wedding. You know why? She had no choice because I gave. I gave to a foundation.
Knockout. Blew Hillary's foundations with that one. Donald is especially good when it comes to his relationships with women. He knows what every woman wants, even if some might consider that a bit tacky.
Use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the I can do anything.
Where would we be without those lapel mics that have a nasty habit of being left on? Yes, women and Donald are like a house on fire. If Don comes to the house, they set him on fire. But we managed to get some alpha female locker room banter of our own.
Bimbo, dog, fat pig.
And Donald loves to add fuel to the fire.
Women, you have to treat them like
Hey, Donald shouldn't feel bad. It's only a status thing. It's obvious that Donald is a super hit with women. And then did Jane Doe and 11 other women really have to spoil it all? Those hurtful allegations of rape against this nice man. But while most people would shut the fish up at this time, Donald trumped up his own befitting reply.
You know, it really doesn't matter what they write, as long as you've got a young and beautiful piece of ass.
I think we understand. I suppose that's the ass that saves Donald's posterior. But surely, Donald, you have more class than that. Melania.
I thought she made an incredible speech. I thought she made a beautiful speech. She had that haul. She had that haul. Totally had the haul.
Yeah. How could we ignore her? That speech. An angel in white. Trying to top Michelle. Ripping our hearts out with a God bless the United States of America. And then walking up those pearly white steps. Wow, Don, that was the closest you came to being God. Did you really have to spoil the speech with that bad copy-paste job? Yeah. And then those dreadful allegations of illegal immigration and sex scandals thrust at Melania. Not easy. But I'm sure Melania made up for it. I can just see the headlines. Melania satisfies me in more ways than I could ever imagine. Donald Trump. No, we won't tell her, Don. The whole world will. And I hope you'll have a comfortable sleep on the couch. And if you need any advice, you can always call Bill. He's had loads of couch experience. Now that gives a new meaning to the words cross-party diplomacy. But come on, cut the man some slack. Donald's an intelligent guy. No, seriously, let's look back to see how intelligent he really is.
Turn off the lights. Turn them off.
Ah, all the better to grope you with, my dear. Well, at least you know that when Donald as president holds a world summit, he and all the world leaders can turn off the lights, get cozy and play hide and seek in the dark. And no one will know who's pinched, who's whatever. I can see the definitive book, Negotiating in a Pinch by Donald J. Trump. He is a really hands-on president, isn't he?
He referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee it.
And now you know why the rest of us have got it all wrong. It's not your brains, but the size of your phallus that has something to do with you being smart.
Oh my God.
In the end, size does matter. And with Donald, everything's big. From his iconic Taj Mahal to his signature towers to his big mouth. But hold on, there were other signs of intelligence. His love for nature, for example.
The Democrats, ooh, there was a mosquito. I don't want mosquitoes around me. I don't like mosquitoes. I don't like those mosquitoes. I never did. Okay, speaking of mosquitoes, hello, Hillary. How are you doing?
I still don't understand why the Democrats don't get it. Instead of spending hours shredding Donald apart, they have a great way to distract him. Releasing a few mosquitoes near him during a debate, for example. That would really set things buzzing. Mosquitoes give Donald an itch, just like Hillary does. Come to think of it, Donald Trump suffers from Hillary-itis.
It was Hillary Clinton that she should get an award from them as the founder of ISIS. That's what it was.
You know, I expected better. By shooting his mouth off criticizing Hillary, Donald isn't going to make America great again, and he should really check his facts. Crooked Hillary wasn't the co-founder of ISIS. She was the founder. By the way, you won't find that fact on the fact checker on Hillary.com. Hillary was 12 when she had a cat named Isis. Donald's intelligent. All this talk has got Hillary confused and tired.
And of course, I hope you will compare what I'm proposing to what my opponent is talking about.
What did I tell you? And there was more. Nervous tics, epileptic fits, wild uncontrolled laughter, coughing fits, pneumonia, syphilis, thanks to Bill and his constant copulating, aversion to any kind of pressure. Poor woman. The list of her problems are endless. Look what Donald has done to her. She's even become disillusioned and delusional about her health.
His latest paranoid fever dream is about my health. And all I can say is, Donald, dream on.
Hillary is really overheated by non-issues. Dream on, Donald. You deserve the best. After all those sacrifices you made for America, building those tall, tall structures, allowing illegal immigrants in your modeling agency, and undocumented Polish laborers to build your signature Trump Towers. And Donald's next brainwave, his plan to create a deportation force. Moo. In actual fact, there's nothing more than another bad copy-paste job again, Donald, renaming the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, into a force to help those Mexican brethren go back home. Isn't that brilliant? The way Donald got to the American psyche. Deportation. And then, how could we forget the wall?
Build a great wall along the southern border.
Look, I voted numerous times when I was a senator to spend money to build a barrier to try to prevent illegal immigrants from coming.
You know what I think? Donald Duck really got it right. But think about it. Wasn't it a fantastic diversionary tactic? Donald got the whole world talking about his stupid fishing wall and Mexico having to pay for it 100%, even if they didn't know about it. Wow.
I'm not going to pay for that wall.
This guy used a filthy, disgusting word on television, and he should be ashamed of himself, and he should apologize.
What?
Mexican people, we are not going to pay any single cent for such a stupid wall.
You see the genius of the man? Everyone is engaged in the wall. He stonewalled every real election issue just talking about the wall. And when the Mexico visit happened, the wall came up again.
We did discuss the wall. We didn't discuss payment of the wall.
And we thought that was the last word for about 3 hours. Wrong. Then this happened. And Donald was dog whistling his way back to Arizona. This was too good a controversy to die down.
Mexico will pay for the wall. Remember. 100%. They don't know it yet, but they're going to pay for the wall.
Were these two guys at the same meeting? And here's the best part. There's no need for a wall. The migrant Mexicans are telling Uncle Sam where he can stick it. The American dream is off their list. So why the fish are we talking about a wall? That's right. Donald's strategy is simple. Keep America engaged in non-issues. Throw in large doses of paranoia. Blow the dog whistle at all times. And dominate the headlines. And you can become president. And hey, maybe Trump Construction can build the wall.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing. Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing.
I agree.
You know, being presidential is easy.
Especially since you don't need a teleprompter.
I love the Muslims. I think they're great people. Don't worry about that, baby. I love babies. So, I love babies.
Donald will be the next president of the United States. Even the terminally ill are routing for him. Or they could repeal the 19th, which gives women the right to vote. Just remember, Donald, act presidential. But if, by any chance, you do not make it to president, there's one thing you can do. You can become a nice, Muslim-loving, pro-life nanny. Hey, come on, that's not so bad. At least it's better than getting skittled. Donald Trump unshackled. Time for a break. Don't go away. Our special guest, Shankar Aiyar, to come. We have in our studio today Mr. Shankar Aiyar, a career diplomat who joined the Congress Party and joined politics. A prolific writer, he has written many books and many columns for the newspapers. Mr. Shankar Aiyar, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Please come, sir. So, I want to talk a little bit about your formative years and how did these formative years influence you in becoming a politician?
Well, when I was at school, I was 11, no, I was 10. We had our first general election in 1952. And I was so excited by all these posters and speeches and the atmosphere that I organized an election in my class. And one of the naughtier boys, Anand Chakravarti, wrote up on the board, Preetinder's mom and pop are commies, at which point a fight started up and the principal of the school walked in and democracy in Welham School came to an end. So it's from then that I've always had an interest in coming into politics.
Just many years you've been in politics, so one wants to ask you that, what do politicians really need to survive today? Do they need a thick skin, deep pockets, or an influential mother-in-law?
All three, preferably. But it would be also useful to have the patronage of an influential head of the party. And my party is one which has ensured that there is 100% reservation for women at the top of the party.
Okay. But talking about party and talking about politics, why is it so difficult in today's day and age for an outsider to join politics?
Oh, it's because you're not an insider. Everything that you have been brought up to be, and the reason why you're running this program, disqualifies you from politics.
Okay.
As it disqualified me, because while I did very well in a merit examination to join the Foreign Service, my political career has been marked by failure because I lack the basic qualities of being part and parcel of the soil of this country to be a good politician. I think all our politics has become more vernacular. And so unless you've been brought up on the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, unless you have Sanskrit as a basic foundation, unless you speak Hindi fluently or Tamil or Kannada or whatever the language is, I think it's a great disadvantage to speak proper English.
Okay. They say that politics and controversies go hand in hand. Why is that so, that there's always a controversy around a politician or political party?
Because we are in the public eye and almost anything that we say can be twisted by satirists like you to make people laugh. So the consequence is that if I were to say I prefer tea to coffee, I'm sure you're capable of making a controversy around it.
I'm sure I can. How do politicians really manage to avoid the controversies that they get themselves into? Is it by creating new ones, by joining another political party, or by going on a sabbatical?
No, just waiting for you to lose interest and move to the next scandal. So I learned that much earlier, that I should never be too worried about a photograph in the newspapers or some story about me. Because within 24 hours it's forgotten and they move on. The one thing that I used to be terrified of was seeing a photograph of Mulayam Singh Yadav. Because whenever I looked at it from a distance, it looked like me. And I wondered why I was on the front page.
Okay. This episode is about Donald Trump. And I would like to ask you that if, by any remote possibility, if Trump were to come to power, how would the world change with Trump in power?
We'd all have to become bricklayers first, because we would have to contribute to building that wall, at Mexico.
Yeah.
And while Trump has said he'll make the Mexicans pay for it, using an expression which I'm afraid I'm not allowed to use here in your program, the Mexican president has told him,
yes,
you better pay for it.
Looking back at how Donald Trump did his political campaign, how would he have done it differently? Would it have been better if he had, just shut his mouth, zipped up his pants, or married Michelle Obama?
He could never have married Michelle Obama because she's such a noble lady.
Yeah.
And he can't zip up his pants because he is Donald Trump.
Right.
At the age of 70, he sounds like a boy of 17.
Okay.
And there is the old story among people of my age that when you're 17, you're terrified she'll say no, but when you're 70, you're even more terrified she'll say yes. And then what do? But apparently in the case of Mr. Trump, that doesn't apply.
Yeah.
And as for zipping up his mouth rather than zipping up his pants, had he done so, nobody would have heard of Mr. Trump, and this program wouldn't have taken place.
Well, we would have found other things to talk about. And let's look at his counterpart, Hillary Clinton. What would Hillary have done differently to make herself more credible as a
lost. If it hadn't been for Trump, I'm sure she'd have lost.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not personally popular.
Yeah.
In any case, the Democrats have had two terms.
Yeah.
So in the normal course, the Republicans would have come in.
Yeah.
But the Republicans seem to be so stupid that they have gone and chosen a man, the one Republican in the world whom the Democrats could defeat, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, the other part of this question was that if she had to do things differently, would she have, for example, written less emails, divorced Bill, or charged less for the speeches that she made? Which of those three options would you have thought?
Perhaps she would have reprimanded Bill a long, long time ago.
That's right. There's a lot spoken about the presidential campaign and a lot said about how it has really gone to a very low level. But the question I want to ask you is, how has this presidential campaign really changed the face of America and indeed the world?
It's a reflection of the face of America. I think America is a very confused country. It had this great desire to replace the British Empire, to remove the Pax Britannica and establish a Pax Americana. And that has gone wrong so repeatedly that now they're saying, why on earth did we go into the world? We might come back and hide behind Trump's wall.
Right.
And this change of America is reflected in the presidential election going down. Because if you're not interested in international politics, there's only one other thing to be interested in, that's sex.
That's true. Or local banter that Donald Trump is sort of engaged in all the time. There's one question that came to my mind. What if Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump were to get married? What would that recipe be?
Fascinating question. I hope they have twins, so that one is like Donald Trump and the other like Hillary Clinton, and we don't have to live with this product of miscegenation, at least of ideologies.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And that's all we have on the show tonight. I'd like to thank our guest, Mr. Mani Shankar Aiyar, for his witty remarks, our band, the Jazzy Jets. And until next week, keep deconstructing.